Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Elite Sports Shooting. My name is Jeff. Today we're down at the range. It's a beautiful day and we've got the Remington Versa Max and we have the Beretta A400 Unico. But before we get going here, if you haven't yet clicked that subscribe button, go ahead and do so. We do have a lot of video content. We do have a lot of things that we want to put up. At the end of the video, if you like the content of the video, click that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And anything that I use in the in the video, I'll put it in the description below as a link that you can click to go directly to where I usually purchase my things. Now, both of these were in the GUGULUZA Gun Sock before I got here. I like to transport them back and forth. I will put those that in the description as well. I don't get any money for it. I believe in protecting your products. So, but anyways, today we got, I don't know, lack of a better term, we're going to call it a face-off between the Remington Versa Max 3.5 inch and the Beretta A400 Extreme Unico 3.5 inch. So two very equal in every way, two very equal shotguns. Now, of course, as always, I love my Beretta. I did do a video on it as one of my first videos. This is one of the first shotguns. This is the first semi-automatic I ever owned. But this Remington Versa Max, I got it from my buddy Chris on loan. Now, Chris owns Backcountry RV here in Lethbridge, and I do try to promote his business and thanking him for letting me use it, because I could not find a Remington product. I could not find a Remington Versa Max anywhere here in southern Alberta. So I am actually very fortunate to have this, to be able to bring it to you guys. Now, I have shot a Remington 870 in the past. I don't have one. I cannot find one. So if you're in southern Alberta and you have an idea of where I could, pick one up or something like that, let me know and I will actually go pick one up. But the Versa Max, I saw one or two in Calgary, and I could have ordered it, but it cost too much to ship. But anyways, I got this. I don't need one right now. I would actually purchase one day because I love this shotgun. So I did do a review on the Remington Versa Max not too long ago. If you want, go check that out. I'm not going to go too much into the specs. I'm going to compare these two against each other. So the Remington Versa Max is beautiful. It's actually a very sharp shotgun. It handles large loads all the way down to those small light target loads. I probably put about 200 to 250 rounds through this so far. Absolutely beautiful. I have shot the big 3.5 inch. I've had other people shoot the 3.5 inch out of this shotgun, and they are impressed with the recoil that's absorbed in this shotgun. Now, if you look at it, it doesn't have too much as far as like twisted steel and sex appeal. It does have that rubber grip overmolding in the pistol grip and in the foregrip. It does have the mid bead, the mid fiber optic and the fore fiber optic bead. I actually prefer the dual bead myself. It does have that higher vented sight rail, which I prefer. Now this rubber butt pad, it is like a foam rubber, and when you're shooting 3.5 inch, it does, you can feel it compress against your shoulder. And it does have that soft comb, like we're talking a spongy soft comb cheek pad. This just about has everything I would ever want in a shotgun, minus the oversized controls. I'm a fan of the oversized controls, love the oversized controls. I love the oversized safety on the Remington Versamax. So overall, it's a very, very nice cycling shotgun. Cycles really well. Gas gun. And I love it. It's fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some rounds down range. I got the Wheelie Bird 2.0. I've already been shooting a little bit this morning, just to warm up. So we'll get some target loads out here. I do like how on the Remington, inside the magazine tube, there's a discolored stopper, and it's an orange color. I like having it orange or red on the Extreme Plus on the Beretta. It is it's like a steel color. It's like a stainless steel. So when you have a round in there, sometimes it's hard to distinguish whether you have a round in there or it's just that stopper. So anyways, we'll show you in a minute. Beautiful shotgun, absolutely beautiful. We're going to up the ante. We're just going to put a couple rounds. Those are the 3.5. I don't want to go 3.5 right away. I want to put a couple 3s through it. And then you can see for yourself the recoil. That wasn't bad at all. I could feel this rubber butt pad compressing. I'm going to shoot 2 3-inch, 3.5 inch, and these are the Challenger rounds. This is 3.5 inch, and they have a muzzle velocity of 1,500 feet per second. So just watch my shoulder. I'm 220, 6'1", so you'll be able to see it, how much energy pushes me back with the 3.5 inch. That wasn't bad at all. We're going to put one more round in there. I don't know what was wrong with that other round. So I got 2 3.5 inch rounds in here. That's not bad. For 3.5 inch rounds, that's not bad. So we're going to set this down. The action's open, and if you can look down through here, you'll see that it is an orange color. Alright, so now we're gonna have a look at the Beretta A400 Extreme Unico. Now the A400, there's a couple of differences between the A400 Extreme Unico and the Extreme Plus. Now, in my opinion, I like the Extreme Plus a little bit better. The Extreme Plus has the more of a comb cheek pad, I think it's just a molding over top. It does have the higher vented sight rail and oversized controls. One thing I did do, I did buy some oversized controls for this from Marksman Guns and Sports here in Lethbridge. I will put that in the link below. I just wanted it. I wanted to have the oversized controls because I am such a fan. So anyways, this has a good rubber butt pad, but it does have the kickoff recoil reduction system. This is a gas gun. They call it the blink operating system. My guess is in a blink of an eye, but we'll do some fast shooting in a second. There's no mid bead, just a fiber optic 4-bead. 3.5-inch gun, and it's got the front crossbolt safety, which I like because I can actually reach it with my fingers. I'm not as much of a fan as the rear crossbolt, unless I've got the massive trigger group and I can't reach it, then of course I'm gonna like the rear crossbolt better. But anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some rounds down range. We're gonna put it in right. So it shoots really light. It's a beautiful shotgun. I love how fast it shoots. I'm gonna put a couple more rounds out of the 2 3/4. Now I'm shooting the Challenger rounds, and they have a muzzle velocity of 1200 feet per second. So I do like the Challenger rounds better. Something with a higher, like they're a little faster. I did have a problem when I first purchased this. I was shooting, I'm not going to say the brand, but I was shooting something that was 1080 feet per second, and I had nothing but failure to cycle. And then I started buying the Challenger rounds, and I never had a problem again. So, and I had a problem with this shotgun. So I know a lot of shotguns, they need a minimum, even in the owner's manual, they have a minimum requirement in feet per second of the shot shells that you need to use for it to cycle properly. So anyways, we're going to go back, we're going to shoot a couple more. Flawless. I absolutely love this shotgun. This was my first semi-automatic. I absolutely loved it. It shoots really well. It shoots really fast. Now I've got the Challenger Super Magnum 3-inch, 1550 feet per second. No problem. No problem with the 3-inch. You could shoot this all day with 3-inch. Now don't get me wrong, you can shoot the Remington all day with 3-inch and never have a problem. We're going to do 2 3.5-inch, and they are the Challenger Super Magnum, and a muzzle velocity of 1500 feet per second. I say they shoot about the same. I'm going to shoot them back to back. I'm going to shoot 1 round, maybe 2 rounds through the Versamax, and then 2 rounds through the Beretta, and we're going to see which one handles the rounds a little bit better. I don't know, Remington claims they have a a really soft recoil, and I do agree with that. They say it's for a 12 gauge, it shoots as soft as a 20 gauge. That's what they claim about this shotgun. And the Beretta claims that they are the softest recoiling shotgun out there. I don't know, with the blink operating system and the recoil reduction pad, I'd say they're pretty close. They're very, very close. I'm going to shoot a couple more of the soft, just 2 soft rounds. Yeah, I couldn't even feel that. You feel it coming back, but you don't get beat up in recoil. This is actually pretty difficult. Wow. This is harder than I thought. This is really hard. So I'm going to break it down into the action. Both actions cycle very well. They cycle flawlessly. As far as the actions are concerned, I just don't want this to fall off. When we're talking actions, if they had a bigger bolt release, I would prefer that with the Remington. And like I said before, I love the oversized controls. If this had oversized controls, hands down, I'd be choosing this. And that's why I wanted to do the video before I put my oversized controls on my Extreme Unico. But when it comes to the action, I'm going to go with the Beretta. I like the Beretta a little bit better. I love the Versamax, don't get me wrong. If this bolt release was just a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger. Now the bolt carriers, or the charging handles, they're about equal. They're about the same. They got the same shape, they got the same feel. But I'm still going to have to give a slight edge to the Beretta. Now, when it comes to sights, I love the dual, the mid-bead and the 4-bead. I love that, and I love the vented sight rail. And that's where I'm going to give that one to the Versamax, because on this version, it's a flush vented sight rail, and it's got just the fiber optic 4-bead, no mid-bead. I like when I'm lining them up, I line them both up so I can't see the 4-bead, and I literally just kind of come down on top of it. I prefer that myself. So for the sight rail and the optics, I'm going to give it to the Remington. Now the overall look. So if you give it the overall look, now this the Beretta comes with a Cerakote finish. The Remington is more of a matte black, so very basic. It's like the blackout version. This is just the version that I was able to get. But that rubber butt pad, boy, does that take a beating. And that soft comb cheek pad, like, it's spongy. If you can actually see that, it's very spongy, and it's got a good grip. Now let's look at the Beretta. Now the Beretta does have that grip. on both the pistol grip and the foregrip. It does have a pretty good rubber foam butt pad, not as thick. I'd say on the Versamax it's about 1 inch. This is about a 1/2 inch, but they do have the kickoff recoil reduction system. No comb cheek pad. I could add or swap out or buy a new stock for it. I don't think it's worth that for me to do that. If that's the case, I may as well sell it and buy an A400 Extreme Plus. But in that case, like as far as looks goes, I'm gonna have to give that to the Beretta. The Beretta, it looks sleek, it looks sexy. I love how the sight rail butts up against the receiver. It just looks clean and very beautiful, just very nice to look at. Now, if I had a different version of this and it wasn't a blackout version, I would probably, I'd say they're pretty much equal, but I gotta give it to the Beretta for as far as looks goes. Just the overall look. So this is the black, like I said, blackout version. Love that comb cheek pad, love that butt pad. But as far as looks goes, I'm going to give that to the Beretta. Now the cycling, that was pretty tough because they were pretty much equal when it came to cycling. They both handled the light target loads very well. I upped the ante to the 3-inch, the 3-inch Challenger, which has a muzzle velocity of 1,550 feet per second, and they handled them both very well. Then I upped the ante yet one more time to do the 3.5-inch Challenger, the Magnum loads, 1,500 feet per second, and they both handled them very well. It's hard, really, really hard for me to choose one or the other because they handle so well. I'd say I probably have to give it to Beretta right this second for the kickoff system. I do know that you know, with a little bit less of the it's like a 1/2-inch butt pad versus a 1-inch butt pad, but that comb cheek pad, even if this was the Extreme Plus and it did have that comb over molding, I don't know, I'd probably go with the Versamax on that. As far as the stock is concerned, I'd go for the comb cheek pad. One of these days I'm going to do a video on a gun that would be ideal for me. That'll be at a later date. But I'm going to have to go with the Beretta A400 Extreme Unico. Not that I love this any more than the other one, but when you put them side by side, these two side by side, I don't know, for looks, the feel is pretty much the same shooting them. They're both very accurate. The one thing that I'm not as happy about with the Versamax, there's a little bit of a gap from the vented sight rail to the receiver. Now, I did clean this gun when I got it from my buddy, and I pulled it apart, put it back together. I thought I did something wrong. I put it back together again. I did it a third time, and that's as good as she gets. I can fit a fingernail between there. I know it's small, but it's just professionalism, looks, customization. Now, I love both of them. This was probably one of the hardest comparison face-off videos that I've done because I absolutely love both of these shotguns. If someone said that you can only choose one to go hunting, it'd be really hard because I love the vented sight rail, the higher vented sight rail, and the comb on the Versamax, and the dual bead. So if I was hunting, I'd probably just take the Versamax. They're both reliable, they're both dependable. Love them both. I would actually suggest either one of these guns to a friend. But that's it for me. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you've had either one of these or shot out of one of these, leave some comments. I try to get back to everybody. If you like the content of the video, click that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And always remember to keep both eyes on your target. Thank you, everybody.